Yo, peace. You already know who the fuck it is. Asharenu from asharenu.com. Let's get this camera right. What's up? What's up? You already know we back in this bitch. No sleep around this motherfucker. Make sure it's good. Make sure. Get this right here, actually. I can hold this camera right. There we go. Alright. You see, we still out here working. You know what I mean? Give people time to come in. I know it's late as fuck, so people is probably gonna be watching this later on. But we're gonna still get it in. So shout out to all my overseas heads. So I know this is the time they be up. It's like 6 a.m. You know, London, the UK, all over the world. You know, it's the morning time for them. But you know we're gonna go in. So actually, let me not use this. So I'm gonna show a couple sigils. So I just have to use this. Let me put this on. So I'm gonna show y'all a couple things. So, what is the art of sigil magic? The art of sigil magic is being able to directly affect your subconscious mind without the use of logic, without the use of intellect, without the use of words, where you could stare into imagery and it has a direct influence on your subconscious mind. So let me show you an example of what a sigil looks like. So give me 1 second, I'll type it in. So a sigil and a symbol, or the question is a sigil and a symbol the same thing? What's the difference between a symbol and a sigil? A symbol could essentially be made from anything. Like anything is potentially a symbol, right? Everything in essence is symbolic. We understand that. But a sigil is specifically created with a certain intention to have a certain effect on your subconscious. Whereas a symbol may not be created to have a certain intention to affect you on the subconscious level. Although symbols do affect the subconscious mind, but a sigil is a creation specifically created to have an effect on the subconscious mind. Now, if we look at the actual definition of sigil, as we see here, right, it says an inscribed or painted symbol considered to have magical power, right? So a symbol may not necessarily have magical power, but a sigil is created with the intention to have magical power. And we know whenever we're dealing with magic, that's just a modernized word for sorcery. Magic is just a modernized word for sorcery. So a sigil is specifically created to activate your sorcery. Now let me show you an image of a sigil. Oh, so trust me. When I put up sigil, guess what image comes up? All right? Boom. The seal of the Necronomicon. So, actually, that's one of the first symbols. Let me show you. So, you see we're on Google. So, I got the YouTube playing in the front, or at the top. But you see, you type in sigil, that's literally one of the first things that come up. So, all these things are charged with a specific magical intention. We know that this is the seal of Satan. This is the seal of Satan. You know what I mean? Obviously, you got the 811 and the seal of Satan. Obviously, boom. So you see this, sorry about that. Let's go back. Let me play this again. So we see this symbol is coming up more than any other symbol. Let me make sure y'all don't see that reflection. So the seal of Satan and the seal of the Necronomicon is what's coming up. These two. Right? So you know we talking about the dark side already. So let me type in the Necronomicon for those who may not know what the Necronomicon is. Let me type in the Necronomicon and let me show you some imagery. So I'm just giving y'all a couple ideas of what a sigil looks like and the magical intentions that's implanted into these sigils to have that magical or that sorcery effect on the subconscious mind. So let us continue, shall we? Let's type in the Necronomicon. Let's see what comes up. So when I type in the Necronomicon, make sure that reflection isn't distracting. Alright? Look at the imagery. Very chaotic energy. Alright? Very demonic. Very chaotic. Obviously we see that that's a symbol of Baphomet. We see all type of freaky, ghoulish things. Alright, look at this shit. What? Zoom in on this motherfucker, you see this? Why is the imagery so gruesome? Right? Why you know what I mean? What's with all this gruesome energy? Hold on, let's zoom in on this motherfucker. Look at this. Right? And we see this is a whole different language on the side of him. Right? Looks like Cthulhu. If y'all don't know who Cthulhu is, you can definitely look it up. Let's look at one more to give y'all some insight. Right? These are sigils. Now, why is this imagery so-called demonic? Right? What's with all this shit? Because these have a stronger impact on the subconscious mind. That's why such gruesome imagery is used, because there's a stronger effect on the subconscious mind. So it's like a shortcut. So anybody looking to work their sorcery uses darker imagery because it's unfamiliar. It causes you to challenge your beliefs and your understanding of what you think reality is. Right? This is just some complete abstract imagery. Like, this is, people never even seen no type of shit like that. Like, what the fuck is this? Right? These look like mythological creatures. Right? So one more, just for the heck of it. Let's not do that. Let's show this. Let's play something else. And as you see, when I'm playing on YouTube, there's sigils up here as well. Definitely Nox Arcana if y'all want to know the music that's being played. And you see, these are sigils. So this is sigil music to put you in a trance state. So just giving y'all some insight, but look at this. What's up? I see you. Melina, what's the deal? What's the deal? Right? These are sigils. Peace, family, peace. So, once again, the difference between a symbol and a sigil. A symbol is just a symbol, right? It can be a symbol, can be anything. Your shoes are symbols. Our clothes are symbols. Our faces are symbols. The lights are symbols. TVs are symbols. The shapes, squares, circles, spheres, all of these things are symbols. But when we talk about sigils, sigils are programmed with magical intent to have a certain effect on your subconscious mind. So the reason why people use such dark and gruesome imagery, because it directly affects the subconscious mind, because it challenges you when you are looking into certain portals and realms of things that you are unfamiliar with. Because the first thing, as I always say, when you are opening up your third eye, you have to go through these dark chambers before you start seeing the light. You know what I mean? Can we create our own symbol? Sure. Well, not symbol, sigil, sure. So, you know what I mean? That definitely, it's going to take a little time to do that. I'm not even sure if I had the right materials with me at this current moment, but that definitely could be something we do in the future. But as we were saying, when we're dealing with sigils, with magical intent to affect the subconscious mind, what you will be doing is it opens up portals that you otherwise would not be able to open, because you have to go through these chambers in your subconscious mind. Before you see the light, you have to go through the dark, right? If you can't see the light without going through the dark, because if you're trying to see the light without going through the dark, your eyes have not been fully adjusted. So the light will be too blinding for you to see anything. It's like walking into a room full of lights. It'll blind you. You can't see anything. Just like if you go into the darkness, it's too dark. You can't see anything. So you have to find this middle point where there is some light, but not too much light, where there's some dark, but not too much dark. So that middle path, right in between, so that these portals can be opened up and understood. So not just opened up, but opened up and understood. It must be found within using symbols, or not symbols, sigils, that open up portals from the so-called dark side, right? Okay. Just came to you. Let me show you some more examples of sigils. Oh, sorry, hold on. Let's tap this. There we go. Make sure, let me hold this correctly. Make sure y'all don't see that, the reflection of the light. Let me scoot up. Let me get comfortable so y'all can see this. Sigils. So you see, all I did was tap in sigil. This is a Google. Oh no, I typed in Necronomicon, right? So these are sigils. Let me tap this to tap you into realms that are unfamiliar to you, right? This is a highly mathematical square, right? Most people have no idea what any of these things are. But the further and further you increase your knowledge, you will be able to decode these things. Because as you can see up here, that's the symbol of Saturn, right? Everything in these squares are symbols. Every point is a different symbol. So the further and further you get an advanced magical working, and to be able to create sigils, you can program them with such a deep level of intentions that it can completely open up realms to you. This is how people channel spirits, demons, angels, and things that we can't even comprehend, right? Because the more advanced you are in your studies, you can open up realms and portals such as these, right? Some people, let's actually type in Enochian magic, right? Because that's what came to my head first when I seen something like this, Enochian magic. I'm going to type it in Google. Let's see what comes up. Since we're dealing with sigils, let's see what comes up. And as we know, for those who may not know who Enoch is, or Enoch, Enochian, or Enoch, he's basically, it was one of the chapters, the book of Enoch was removed from the Bible. It's one of the books in the Bible that was removed, it was talking about a man who transcended from the physical plane to the spiritual plane, right? And certain individuals, I'm not going to name them, but I'll, give you some insight, such as Aleister Crowley or John Kelly, or actually, no, not John Kelly, John D. Occultist. The occultist John D, as well as the occultist Aleister Crowley, tapped into Enochian magic. Let's see what comes up. Oh, what do you fucking know? When you tap in Enochian magic up here, look at what comes up. All this mathematical shit. Alright? So we know Omega. And we know Alpha. Alpha and Omega is the beginning and the end. Here we go again. There is the symbol of Saturn. There is the symbol of Saturn. We see that this is the Holy Grail. Right? We see that that's Mercury. That's Mars. That's Venus. That's the moon. So on and so forth. So you see, when we're dealing with sigil magic, we're dealing with planetary energies. We're dealing with the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. So as you see, this language is an older language. So we're dealing with older languages, right? And of course, that's a pyramid, circles and squares. So the more and more you go in your spiritual understanding, the more complex you can make your sigils. This is why you study. You study so that you can implant in your memory more and more symbols. And those symbols, the more familiar you get with symbols, they can become sigils. You can't create a sigil without symbols. Symbols create sigils. Sigils are combined symbols. A combination of symbols create sigils. This is why the sigils is not just one symbol, it's a combination of symbols to open up certain portals. Let's continue. Let's see what else we got here. We look at things like this. Let's zoom in. Once again, we got the sun, we got Mars, Venus, the moon. We have a magical square with Hebrew letters. I believe these is Hebrew letters. Hold on. What did I type? Let's go back. Yeah, there we go. Right, so you got the Hebrew letters, or whatever language that is, if it's not Hebrew. Actually, no, it's not Hebrew. It's actually an older language. Right? Then you can say it's the Enochian language. Right? The Enochian alphabet. Yes, you can definitely choose your own symbols. Right? So you see, everything is a symbol. These are names of angels. So you have a whole pantheon of angels going around in a circle. You have the planetary energy, then you have the Enochian alphabet in the middle. So once again, sigils is a combination of symbols. The more and more symbols you piece together with a magical intention, you have the ability to open up portals. Let's continue forward. This is high mathematics. This is high science. This is being able to put your spirituality to work. This is why you study symbols. This is why you do your history, to see what group of people was doing what, so that you can, whatever system that you're drawn to. Some people are going to be drawn to Enochian magic. Some people are going to be drawn to the Necronomicon. Some people are going to be drawn to voodoo. Some people will be drawn to the dark arts. Some people are going to be drawn to black magic. Some people are going to be drawn to the 72 Goetia. Some people are going to be drawn to the saints. Some people are going to be drawn to the angels. You know what I mean? Whatever that you are inclined to be drawn to, you can use this energy in combination with each other to open up portals for the subconscious mind. So when you stare into this imagery, let's just say you put that imagery on a shirt. You create a shirt and you put this image on the shirt that you created with your own mind and programmed with your own intention. Now you have other people looking at this shirt, of course, because they've never seen anything like it. It's going to stand out. Now it's just giving more and more energy to your symbol. So you can put your symbol on display, or you can put your sigil on display. This is essentially what was happening with graffiti, aerosol art, or graft. That's why you wanted to blast your name on the trains so that everybody can see not your symbol, but your sigil. Because when everybody is seeing your sigil, they give that sigil energy, which manifests or opens up the portal to that reality. So when people transcend spiritually, it's because that sigil is gaining more and more momentum. That's why the best thing you can do is to put your art on the train so that the whole city can see them. That's why graffiti was shut down, right? That's why graffiti was shut down, because it is considered black magic. Hip hop is considered black magic if you really know what you're looking at. Not negative magic, but a magic to create directly from the ethers. Not a linear creation, a creation directly from the ethers. All elements of hip hop do the same things. You create your reality with your rhymes. That's why you rhyme. You don't just speak. You rhyme. Your words create your reality. When you dance, your dance is creating your reality by perfecting your physical body, by programming your physical body with doing all type of moves, standing on your head, spinning all this shit, doing shit that people have never seen before. It totally amazes people. Now people want to put you on stage and people want to give you money, so on and so forth. If you can name any element, it has the same effect. Would you say any rituals, ceremonies are a form of a sigil? Absolutely. Definitely. You can combine these sigils in a form of a ritual or ceremony to open up even bigger portals into certain realms. But again, you must know what you're doing, because you don't want to do any of these things randomly. Let's continue forward. Here's another sigil. So if we can zoom in. So we see that these are letters. Then you see these are deities. So you got the letters, you got deities. Then you got the actual deity on the outside spelled. Alright? So you got the name of a deity on the outer shell. You got the lower form of deities on the inner shell. You got the letters going further. So the further or deeper you go until you get to the middle, and you see it's just a repeat of what you've been seeing on the outside. Sacred geometry. This is sacred geometry. So, you have like the sacred geometrical shapes like Metatron's cube, the flower of life. You have those things. But this is a higher form of sacred geometry. Sigils is the highest form of sacred geometry because it's programmed with your intention instead of, okay, these are just the shapes and symbols that manifest in the universe. But of course, they may not have an intention. This is just the energies that manifest on their own without human intervention. But when you add human intervention, when you add the creativity, bring out the Apollo symbols, or you want to see the Apollo seals, why not? Why not? I'll type that in right now. Let's see what comes up. Alright. This is Paulo Mayombe. Alright. Let's tap this. Now, of course, so it's a little Paulo in there. It looks like a little voodoo. Maybe have a little Santeria in there. A little hoodoo in there. Like it's a combination of everything. But as we see, creating something original like this is obviously a simplified version of what we were just seeing. So that's more alchemical and advanced. So if you don't want to do all that, you need to whip up something real quick. You need to whip up a spell real quick. You would draw something like this. Something that don't take that much time, but that's just as powerful. Alright? So these are examples of sigils. Something that can be quickly created for an intention. Be good to create your own sigil for manifestation. That's what sigils are for. Sigils, hold on, this is a closer look at it. Alright? Sigils are for your own manifestation. Sigils tap directly into the ethers so that you can manifest straight from the quantum world, so that you don't have to manifest in this linear world or this square world. I gotta go from A to B to C to D to E. You can go all the way from A and time travel to Z. You can go from Z and time travel to A instead of having to go through the whole pantheon of letters. Because that's how we're taught. Like, you got to go one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. Got to do this, then do this, then do this. But hip-hop, what is hip-hop showing us? Hip-hop showing us that you can be in your mother's basement, create a song. Everybody fucking love this song. Now, all of a sudden, you out of your mother's fucking basement. You didn't have to do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. You created a fucking song that got you out of your fucking mom's basement. That's hip-hop shows us how to tap directly into the etheric realms. And like, we don't have to do shit in the linear fashion anymore. That's old school. We don't have to do that. That's religion. Religion tells you that. Society tells you that. And that's what everybody else follows. But we know is, again, all we have to do is open our eyes to the magical realms of nature. We see that we can go from A to Z or from Z to A. You can have nothing to go from nothing to something, and to go from something to nothing, depending on how you utilize your magic. All right. Songs are sigils. Trust me. That's why it's so important for the artists to be true to their words, or to speak what they want into existence. They can speak about a whole lot of shit that they don't have. But if everybody resonates with the song, everything that they spoke about, they can have, even if they didn't have it at the time of writing the song. That's just the way hip-hop is. That's how hip-hop has always been. To be able to go from A to Z. It's like a shortcut from A to Z, but we understand that it's going through the quantum world. There truly is no time or space. That is an illusion. You can open up portals or black holes and go from A to Z instantly without having to go through all of the other letters. Alright? This is what sigils do. Sigils open up these portals so that you can time travel to different realms without having to travel this linear distance. Like, if you get on a bus or if you drive in a car, you have to go from one street to the next street to the next street to the next street to the next street. That's it. And the only time you can take a shortcut if you can go on a freeway, but you have to go that linear route. But when it comes to magic, when it comes to sorcery, when it comes to doing this sigil magic, it can transcend all forms of matter. So sigil magic transcends all forms of matter because it can take you directly to places without having to follow the straight path. It's over. I'm sorry about that. Gotta be careful. It's over for this linear shit. Those times are over where you have to follow somebody else's guideline. Again, we have access to the internet now. People come on the internet and blow up. Motherfuckers put songs on YouTube, hit 1 million views, and now they out of there. This shit has never been possible before. You had to get like a record deal or something before. You had to go through certain gateways. You had to go through certain people for this type of shit to happen now. That's what our ancestors had to go through. They had to go through those hellish realms where you had to basically, as they say, sell your soul to the devil or sell your publishing or not own your music just to be introduced into the music realm. They was not even going to let you into the music industry if they didn't have your publishing, if they didn't own your company, if they wasn't eating off of everything you do, or if they wasn't putting you in a 360 deal, right? If you didn't have a 360 deal, you wasn't getting no deal, right? But we are in times now, people are coming out the gate independent. Independent out the gate. Before you even put out an album, you already independent and you own all your masters straight out of the fucking gate. You went from A to Z. You know what I mean? No doubt. Nick, I see you. That's what we talking about. So when we tap into this black magic, when we tap into the dark arts, when we tap into the sigil magic, these are the shortcuts into the universe. And not necessarily shortcuts. This is just how we naturally operate. Hip-hop came as a spiritual guide for us to show us the true way and the true nature of the universe. This is natural science so that we can supersede this linear shit that we've been programmed with our whole lives. So we don't, again, we can see it. Just look around. Where, you see a new rapper coming up every fucking day. Where this motherfucker come from? Where this motherfucker come from? Making hits every day. Where these motherfuckers are literally popping up every day. Like, yo, how the fuck this motherfucker get all this money? How this motherfucker make this magical song? Because they were tapped into the dark arts. Now, some people may say, well, they was in the streets. They were selling drugs. They were doing this. They were doing that. But they had to get a fusion of that dark energy in order to transcend that reality. So just because they may come from a certain reality, they don't end up there. Are you supposed to burn a sigil once you make it? It all depends. You can if you want to, but you don't necessarily have to. You can put the sigil on your shirt, you can put it up on your wall, or you can burn it. It all depends. It all depends. The Goetia seals is deep too. Alright, let's tap into the Goetia seals. Y'all want it? We got it. Let's tap into the 72 Goetia. You know what I mean? I got the fire for everybody. So let's tap into that shit. Hold on. Here's some more shit. I don't even know what this is. Weed opens up portals. Weed is the gateway itself. Weed don't open up portals. Weed takes you to the portal. Weed is a portal itself. And where you go from there is up to you. Let me, so y'all see. I don't know what type of sigils these are. But just giving y'all more insight into what sigils are. You can create your own sigils with your own intentions to affect not only your subconscious mind, but the subconscious minds of others. That's also why people get tattoos. Let's tap on this. Alright? Because you may ask yourself, why would somebody get this sinister ass fucking tattoo? What is this doing for them? It's opening up portals. This is earth magic. Tattoos are earth magic that opens up portals. It's a permanent portal that you're opening up to channel a certain energy permanently. So right, there's people who create sigils and burn them, for a temporary reason. So for example, let's just say somebody was doing death magic and wanted to kill somebody. That'd be something that you do, and when it's over, you get rid of it. You don't keep that energy around, and that's not something that you do like within your own household. That's something that you have to go far out and make that shit happen. You know what I mean? So it just depends on your intentions. If you are doing something for a temporary result or something that needs to be done only one time, then you burn the sigil because this ain't something that you're trying to carry on to the future. But there are certain intentions that are for the long term that you may want to last for longer than just a week or 2 weeks or whatever. So that's why people activate the earth magic and get tattoos or put sigils on their shirts. That's why everybody has a label or a fashion. People are fashion designers. They create their own clothes because it's all about sigils. This is truly original science being manifested back. That's why it is demonized. That's why people don't have nothing good to say about hip-hop. People don't have nothing good to say about jazz. People don't have nothing good to say about rock because it's activating sigils. It is true black magic. And of course, this type of magic can transcend the illusion or the spell that's being cast against everybody so that you become a slave to the dollar or the slave to their witchcraft or their spells. These sigils can transcend that. So, of course, they're not going to fuck with it because it transcends their shit. When you speak the truth, in your lyrics and your songs, it transcends the lies and the deception. So of course they're not gonna fuck with it. Of course they're not gonna promote it. Of course they don't want you listening to it. Of course they're gonna make it seem wicked and destructive and counterproductive. Of course, we're like, okay, all that's bullshit, but listen to our shit, buy our music. You know what I mean? Buy this shit that we're pushing to you, but don't listen to that real shit. Listen to that mainstream shit that's just redundant, that has no pure creativity, versus listen to that underground shit that's completely original. That's a difference. So of course they're gonna automatically make the real shit underground and suppress it, and up that mainstream shit that does nothing for nobody else other than them. Everybody has their own agendas, but let's look at these 72 Goetias while we're talking about all this stuff. Okay, bear with me. Alright, here we go. So these are the seals of the 72 Goetia. Right? Let me get as close as I can, see if I can zoom in. Exactly. Embrace the underground scene. So here we go. These are the 72 Goetia seals. The 72 chakras and the third eye. It's real black magic, right? These open up portals to realms that are unknown to most people, that will stay locked because people's pineal glands are calcified. Not because they're drinking fluoride, but because they're drinking deception and lies. Remember, food is more than what you put in your mouth. It's also what you put in your mind. Like they say, food for thought, right? So food ain't just physical. It's that mental food. When you start feeding yourself with this mental food, it starts to change your reality because you're changing the type of input that you're receiving. See, right? And this goes straight to the subconscious mind. This is beyond logic. This is beyond intellect. Right? Let's take it a step further. Because what else we got? Let's type in satanic sigil. See what pops up when we put that in. You know, everybody gets in their feelings when we start talking about Satan, right? Everybody get all in their fucking feelings. But who cares? Right? Okay. So we see. The very first seal that pops up, this is the seal of Satan. Pretty sure people have seen this before. Right? Fuck with that. And again, I'm showing y'all so y'all can type this in while y'all watching or while y'all listening, and y'all can see all this for yourself. Right? Of course, we've all seen this inverted pentagram, right? We've all seen this. Right? We all seen this goat. Right? We all know what that Baphomet is. But do we know what these letters represent? Do we know what these letters represent? Probably not. We know all about the goat, or the wicked goat, the inverted pentagram, but do we know what these letters symbolize? Probably not, unless you've been studying up on your shit. Let's see what else we got here. One love, one love. So yeah, let's look at this. Alright. So obviously this is a little bit more gory. But it's the effect it has on the mind which makes the biggest difference. So now we're tapping into the sex magic. See, motherfuckers ain't ready for this. Y'all really ready for that shit? Who's holding down those sex rituals like they're supposed to? What do I think about the Shadow Hunter ruins? Let's type that in. Let's see what comes up when we type that in. Shadow Hunter. Alright, here we go. The Shadow Hunter ruins. Alright, let's go here. Alright. These are all different forms of magic. As I said, everybody's going to be drawn to a certain system. There is no right or wrong way. It all depends on what you're naturally drawn to. Alright? So we're just giving some visuals. Whatever floats your boat, use it. If you're drawn to the Shadow Hunter ruins, then use it. Use whatever you're magnetically attracted to. Use it all. Whatever floats your boat, as long as you're doing something. Something is always better than nothing, as we know. Right? The list goes on and 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 on. Whatever system that you use. The Necronomicon, yeah, we were showing the Necronomicon sigils at first, but let's type it in again. We can look at some more Necronomicon, but we started off with the Necronomicon. Let's type it in again. Let's see what come up. And obviously, you know, when you fucking with the Necronomicon, you fucking with that Cthulhu energy. Right? So you know, that's that Cthulhu shit. See if it's down here. So if y'all need to know how to spell Cthulhu, it's right here. Let me bring it up close. If y'all want to know how to spell Cthulhu, it's right there. CTHULHU. Necronomicon. Hopefully that's clear enough. So definitely tapping into that Cthulhu shit. You know, that octopus animal totem. And as I showed y'all, you know, putting seals on your clothing works. So imagine walking around, it looks like the beast in Skyrim. Well, what do you think these video game platforms, what inspires all of this mythology? This is old school knowledge just recycled into video games. I already told y'all, they do the same thing with Star Wars. They do the same thing with all occult movies. This is ancient science being recycled and resold to you in the form of a movie, and they get paid off of it. They get paid off of your own science that you put down, that you're afraid of, that you're afraid to use. They're going to put it in movies that you're going to see because people like being afraid and people like being scared. So they're going to give you your own information back to you and affect your subconscious mind, but they're going to eat off the energy instead of you benefiting off of your own energy. So just imagine you creating your own symbol, you put it on your hoodie, you put it on your shirt so that you can magnetize that energy for your own intentions and purposes, right? That's what it's all about. You blasting off the same way where you blasting off your graffiti on the trains like I was speaking about earlier. You know what I mean? This is taking your magic back into your own hands. As opposed to it being used against you, you taking your power back into your own hands and you using your natural science for yourself so that you can transcend beyond and above the matrix and exist in this realm as a sovereign mind. When you exist as a sovereign mind, you have transcended the matrix. See, it don't matter. It don't matter what's going on. It don't matter what spells are being produced. When you tap into your own magic, when you tap into your own realms, again, when you open up those portals, you can't be stopped. There is nothing more powerful than black magic. There's nothing more powerful than the dark arts. That's why the so-called Illuminati, you know what I mean, and the Masons and all that, they worship the black energy, the dark energy, because this is the most powerful energy. So when you start tapping into this shit, they don't have no defense against it. They can't stop it. So the most they can do is suppress it. That's what Masons do. That's what pastors do. That's the whole purpose of religion, to suppress the dark arts, to suppress the natural science, to suppress the witchcraft. Because if they suppress it, again, they can't stop it. They have no defense against it. So the most they can do is put out propaganda against it. So when it comes out in the form of jazz, in the form of rock, in the form of hip hop, and whatever lifestyle that comes after, and whatever lifestyles that came before, then you know, like, okay, every time it manifests, you see, it's going to constantly manifest. It cannot be stopped. That's the whole thing. They try to stop it with jazz, shut it down. They try to stop it with rock, shut it down. And now we see it manifesting through hip-hop. It will never stop regenerating itself, because the hip-hop spirit, or the magical spirit, will never stop re-emerging itself, because it is for us to transcend the bullshit at all times. So it don't matter what art form it comes out of, it will always re-emerge. There is no stopping this shit. Otherwise, it would be stopped. There would be no hip-hop. So the most they can do is put money in these dudes' pockets to talk about bullshit, to flash your money, see, let people know how much money you have. You know, show off your Versace shirt, your Gucci shirt. That's the most they can do, just to keep you in this material realm. But you're going to always have people like a Rakim, a KRS-One, a Big Daddy Kane, a Brand Nubian, so on and so forth. You're going to always have the opposites that's coming with that real shit, and that's going to take you back to the original science so that you can transcend. That's why you have books like the Gospel of Hip Hop. You know what I mean? Like this, it will never stop. But we must be in tune to even know what all this shit is. Because if you're locked down by religion, you're going to always see these things as negative, as destructive, as counterproductive, and you're going to keep your distance, because it's going to be wicked and satanic in your eyes based on how we have been programmed. But once you have unlocked your mind, once you exist in a level of chaos, in a realm of chaos, now you can tap into these dark arts and re-emerge as a divine being, utilizing your own spirit craft, your witchcraft, working with the ethers directly, communicating with spirits directly, you being a spirit and you knowing your own truth, having a direct experience. Nobody else have to tell you anything. You have a direct experience to pull from, right? So, let me show you this. Oh, this is a gift. I don't know what this is. I'll just show y'all. I have no idea what this is. So just showing y'all some real shit. You know what I mean? There's a reason why this information constantly comes up, constantly comes up, constantly comes up, constantly comes up. There's no stopping this shit. There is no stopping this shit. I'm not the first person. I will not be the last person. You know what I mean? This is a culture that will forever exist. So it don't matter how nobody feel about it. It is what it is. So need I say more? Need I say more? You know what I mean? We don't have to go no further. So I'm sure I made my point. This should at least give you some insight to get started if you haven't got started already, just to get a deeper understanding of what's really going on in today's times, in the past, as well as the future. as one holistic science. So, unless y'all have any questions, we're gonna get up out of here. You know? And I'll be right back at y'all. You know? I already know. Gotta get the Birdman hand rub. I appreciate it. Make cheers to you as well. Appreciate everybody for staying in tune, for staying up. I know it's pretty late, but sometimes we gotta sacrifice sleep so that we can put in this work. So it's always about putting in work. Meditation advice, it just all depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but meditation at its core is controlling your breath. That's it. We ain't even gotta talk about visualization. We ain't gotta talk about yoga positions, half lotus position. We don't even gotta talk about none of that. Meditation at its core is just controlling your breath. If you can control your breath, you're doing better than 75% of the people on this planet. Because 75% of the people have no control over their breath. So meditation, just to keep it simple without speaking about all this fluffy shit that really don't mean nothing, control your breath. Control your breath. Breathe deeper and slower. Breathe deeper and slower. Get to the point where you can only take 4 breaths per minute. You only got to breathe 4 times every 60 seconds. Where can you find a PayPal account? Let me see if I can type this shit in. I'll type in the PayPal email. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if I can actually type it in myself. Let me see. No, I don't think I can type it in. Well, hold on. Let me do it. I'll type it in from this other account. Give me 1 second. I'll put it in the live stream. I'll just have to do it from here. Hold on. So definitely, if you want to hit up the PayPal, I'll definitely leave the link for you in just a second. Give me 1 second. Let me get to the videos. Give me 1 second. Here we go. I'll type this shit in right now. There you go. Yeah. Okay. So, any more questions before we get up out of here? No problem, no problem. So again, I definitely appreciate everybody for the support. The continued support. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wouldn't be able to do this without everybody's collective effort. This is definitely a collective thing. So I'm gonna keep hitting y'all with this knowledge. You know what I mean? Until we hit the grave. It ain't no stopping. We're just gonna continue to advance. We're gonna continue to go deeper. We're gonna continue to struggle. We're gonna continue to channel that Zephyr. You know what I mean? We're gonna continue to bring on these challenges. That's why you see the rings. See, the rings is on my Saturn finger. The Saturn is all about bringing in those challenges. We're going to continue to master these challenges. We're going to continue to conquer this hardship. We're going to continue to utilize this magic to the best of our ability. We're going to continue to manifest strictly out of thought. We're going to continue to master these 7 universal laws. We're going to continue to go beyond this deception so that we can protect ourselves, from all the fuckery, and stay in tune with who we really are at our core, at our essence on a soul level. We're not going nowhere, regardless of whom or what, so whether they like it or not, we're here to stay. So definitely keep confidence in yourself, stay positive, communicate better with yourself. It ain't even about other people. Stay positive in communication with yourself. The conversation you have to yourself, stay positive. Always encourage yourself to continue to strive forward as we face adversity. Again, the adversity will never stop until we hit the grave. And it may even continue after the grave if you resurrect, because you didn't put in the spiritual work. So we put in the spiritual work so that we don't have to constantly repeat this shit over and over and over and over and over. What's my thoughts on the Nephilim returning? They already here. See this. So this is what I mean by anything returning. Whether it's the Nephilims, whether it's the Anunnaki, whether it's Jesus, you know what I mean, whether it's the Antichrist, about anybody returning, those consciousness are already here. They're already here. There is no physical nothing or aliens and all this stuff. These are states of consciousness that will be manifested through our vessel. We are the vessel for these intelligence to manifest. They're not going to come as an external image. Again, there is not the skies are not going to part, and Jesus is going to fall out the sky and start leading people. That's not going to happen. If anything like that, the closest thing that we will ever see to that happening is like a person like a Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X or a Tupac. It's the energy flowing through them. The energy flows through us. We are the vessels for those energies to manifest. So if it don't come through us, it ain't happening. It must come through us. It's not going to come. You're not going to see no gray-headed big alien running shit. It's strictly spiritual, and it always has been spiritual, and it always will be spiritual. It always will be psychological. It always will be mental. It always will be within the realms of the universal law. Man is a measure of all things. The mind is a measure of all things. Everything is going to be mental. There's no way around that. There's no way around it. So everybody who's waiting for some catastrophic event or some type of apocalypse to occur, we face these adversities every single day. We are being demonized every day. It just happens. It's already happening. It's been happening. It always will happen. It always it has to manifest. This is why you get your spiritual game on point, so that you can be a vessel for the manifestation of these greater powers and entity. You have to prepare your vessel to contain this energy. You have to be a powerful being to contain the energy of an Anunnaki, of a Nephilim. You know, some people just feel like just because they born a certain way that they have rights to this energy. You must put in that fucking work. You must put in that fucking work. There is no way around it. You must prepare your body to contain the spirit of a Jesus, to contain the spirit of a Nephilim. You must prepare your body. This is why people get into martial arts. You must prepare your body to handle extremely powerful levels of energy. If you want your power level to be over 9,000, you have to prepare your body for it. That's why when you watch Dragon Ball Z, what was Goku and Vegeta always doing? Training. That's it. That's all they do is train all the fucking time, because they understand they must prepare their bodies to contain the energy of a Super Saiyan or a Nephilim. You have to constantly be training and preparing your body to hold and to control this energy. That's why all they do is train every single fucking day. All they do is train. So when those villains show up, that opposition shows up, when shit gets real, they ready to go. As opposed to they just bullshit, and when the opposition come, they get completely destroyed. They got to at least put up some type of fight. So they have to train their bodies continuously to be able to contain those Super Saiyan forms. They don't just get to fucking become a Super Saiyan because they want to. You must constantly be putting your body under pressure and training your body to hold higher levels of energy. Pressure. Remember, you have to pressurize your body to hold higher levels of energy. There's no way around it. And if you don't do it, then you're not going to be able to transcend spiritually, because your body cannot hold enough energy. That's just like building up your endurance. That's just like building up your stamina. You have to completely subject yourself to pressure every single day, all the time. That's just what it is. Because if you don't, then you're going to be bad out here. You're not going to be able to transcend the way that you want to. You're not going to be able to live the spiritual life that you feel that you can live in your own mind. You have to constantly provide pressure for your body to contain higher levels of energy. And may the force be with you. So we ended there. Peace, Hotep, chaos, destruction, madness, 100. Hotep.